Hi, Jackie here today, and I wanted to come back and share my tutorial with you for my open record box album that I shared with you a while back. If you remember, this was the one that I had shared with you on the group page and Country Craft Scrapbookers group page as well. I'm sorry, this is the original one, and this one I used out of the baby line. So here's my second one along with my tutorial. Now this one, I use the June Craftology kit from Country Craft Creations, and this gorgeous paper is from Prima. That kit was filled with all kinds of gorgeous, fabulous papers and embellishments from Prima Marketing. The paper is the vintage from the Vintage Emporium collection. And so I wanted to kind of show you what I did, and with this, before I went into showing you how I actually created my little mini album. So as you can see, I call it an open box, record box, because the style reminds me of the old boxes, and I'm making my way, age way here, that we used to have to hold our 45 records. So, and this is why I call it the open record box. So, let me go ahead and share with you this one. So, as you can see, this gorgeous lace, and I don't know if you can get the full effect. It's like a bronze color. It's just absolutely beautiful. A little charm that came in the kit, wood cutout that came as well. Prima flowers, love. These are just absolutely gorgeous. And then I just added a few more charms from my stash, a little heart, a clock, and a key. And then some hardware, filigree hardware from my stash as well. So, and the handle, I'm not sure where I got it, but it was in my stash. So, now on these you can use two closures, but I personally like the one closure. So, we're going to lift it open, and when we open it, we're going to open it, whoops, this way. So, this is our front. So, as you can see, just simply gorgeous paper. What I did was we received, I believe it was 10 12 by 12 sheets, and I wanted to make something, but I wanted to make sure I had enough paper. So let me tell you, there was just enough paper. I had two little triangles left over out of the whole 10 sheets. So I really made sure when I was cutting this paper that I measured exactly. Now it did come with some of the little cards. I call them calling cards. And it's surprising with this collection because the paper is very vintage, very muted, and yet the cards have a lot of color in them, which I was really wondering, did it go together? And it did. So as you can see, I've added a lot of different elements, embellishments and elements to each page. I did try to keep it very vintage, so of course vintage to me is lots of lace and lots of metal. So I have lots of different metal pieces on my each page. Each page just is a pocket. Now I did not make them with an open edge for a tag. I did keep these closed because, like I said, I wanted to make sure I had enough paper so I could do what I wanted with this album. Now this is a 6-page album, which I don't normally do. I usually do a 5-page, but I knew that this one I wanted to be full. So you can see I used some more of that beautiful bronze lace that Tamara sent us in this kit. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to be able to buy some more of this because it is absolutely beautiful. Moving on, this page, I just did a belly band and added some lace to it, and put that right there. kept that very simple. And you can tell some of these pages I did keep very simple, but I wanted to, and kept them simple, but went a little bit overboard with the embellishments to keep the vintage theme going on. And this is what it's talking about these cards. I see the color in them, and yet against the paper it's very muted. But they're gorgeous. They turned out gorgeous. So just a flower. This flower actually was made by one of our members in the mini album group. It was sent as during us we swapped, and Sandra made me some little embellishments, and this is one of them. I think I used almost every single one of them in this book. They were just perfect for it. So, and then this one again, another belly band just with some lace and hardware, metal hardware, and that would be perfect for a photo. And then a side pocket here with, again, the last of that lace. I stretched it as far as I could. And then some metal hardware and a pearl, nice flat back pearl I added to the top of that. Next page is, again, just a simple pocket page. Added another flower. This is another flower that Sandra made me, and it sent in her as a goodie in a swap that we did. This is heart lace. And then another just side pocket page. This is a flower that I had. It kind of went with the whole feel for the album that I was trying to get. And then the next one is again just a belly band page. And this again is a piece that Sandra had made, a little embellishment. It did come with a paper clip, but I took the paper clip off and added a little bit of a filigree brass thing, hardware on there, piece of metal. And then again a side pocket with a metal flower. Again, another piece that this right here is that Sandra made. I just kind of added a couple of the flowers to Kia from the Prima package I received. And again, a belly band. This one again, another side pocket. I just moved same hardware as the other page, but I just kind of moved it up for a different placement on it. And then, I'm telling you, I love this lace. And I had this little tiny piece left, and I wasn't going to throw it away. So I made my own little embellishment with the metal flower and then the lace on my belly band. And then the back page. This flips up to hold a photo. And then a side pocket right here on this one that's going to hold a couple more of your little cards. So, like I said, I used every piece of the paper I possibly could, and I had like 2 little triangles left. I love the paper, love receiving these Craftology kits. It's always a surprise what you're going to get in them. Yes, the girls give us sneak peeks, but you know, until you get it in your hand, you're like, oh, what's all in there? So check out Tamra's store, Country Craft Creations. Every month she has a new Craftology kit that she offers up, and each month it's different lines of paper. I think this one coming up for August is Authentique. I know last 2 months ago it was Bo Bunny, and then we had Prima. So definitely, if you get a chance, check it out. It's well worth it. All right, now I want to go ahead and show you how I made my little open record box. It's really going to be easy. Excuse me. So you're going to need 5 pieces of chipboard. That's all this takes. So 2 of your pieces. Now you can make these any size you want. I make mine because I wanted to use 6x6 papers in mine. So I made mine with using the 6x6 chipboard. So I cut 2 pieces of 6x6. And then for my top and my bottom, I went with 3.5. So there's my 2 3.5s by 6. And then for my closing flap, it was 2 1/4 by 6. Very easy. So 5 pieces of chipboard. Then you're also going to need 12 of your binding strips. And what I simply do is, Susan suggested a great tip, and so I take a 12 by 12 sheet, score it at every half inch mark, come back, and then I just cut it at 1 inch. So we got 1 inch strip, and it's scored down the middle at a 1/2 inch. Great time saving technique to do. So you are going to need at least 12 of your binding strips. You're going to need your bone folder. You're going to need score tape, and I like to use 3/8 inch. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and I'm going to tell you, have a ruler handy. Don't remember why, but I have it here, so if we don't use it, and if I need it, I've got it. All right? All right, so what we're going to do is start with the one of the bottom pieces and one of your front pieces. So what you're going to do is start your construction. So this is your 3.5 by 6 piece, 6 by 6 piece. And what you want to do is take one of your seam bindings, strips for your binding. I don't know why I call it seam binding, but your binding strip. And you want to measure it. So I take this, and what I do is I just bend it over like that. So, and then I just cut it. Now you can pre-cut these, measuring these since you have the measurements. I just do it as I go. And when you cut, now remember to save your extras because you're going to use those. They do come in handy. So, I did tell you one thing you forgot. Hold on just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. You also are going to need a scrap piece of chipboard, and I will show you here why in just a minute. And I totally forgot to get mine out. I don't know what I was thinking. So, get your strip that you cut off and measured. I go ahead and put my score tape on both sides. Burnish it. Burnish your score tape. Fold it in half. And then I do want to miter each corner, so it just gives it a clean finished look on each one. Now I'm going to make a mess here because they're going to fly everywhere else. I'm at my kitchen table versus my crafting table, only because it's so dreary outside, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to have good lighting in my craft room without all the lights on, and I didn't want it to cause a glare. So, simply attach it to one side. Now here's where the extra piece of, and I'm going to turn it around because I work this way. Here's where the extra piece of chipboard, your scrap chipboard, comes in. So you're going to attach these two pieces, and what you need to do is leave the space of one piece of chipboard between the two. So line up your binding strip, and then pull it down. And I did not get that on straight at all. Okay, we'll pull this up again, And I'll tell you a little secret when you're using this. This one is a little bit bigger than I normally use. But if you line that up right there at the edge, like that, so it's even with this edge here, then when you go to put this on, you're going to be right on. You're going to be even with the other, your sides. Alright, this isn't as difficult as I'm making it right now, and it's very easy, so bear with me here while I get my act together and get it down there. Alright, pull it out. So you've got 1 inch in here between. Okay, that's your start. So that would be your front. This is your bottom. So what you're going to do now is get your other 6x6 piece, and you're going to do the same thing. Now, we do have this piece from that we cut off from the 12x12 that was 6, so it's perfect. I'm going to use it. Okay, I like to use this to make sure I'm burnishing my thing down. And I think we all have our own little tools that we design. This happens to be, if it looks familiar to you, it's one of your Pampered Chef, what is it, the boards, the scraper for your Pampered Chef boards. So, alright, so now we want to do the same thing. And I'm going to, whoops, I did not miter my corners. And sometimes I'm good for this. So you're probably thinking, you forgot to miter. And I usually can catch myself. Sometimes I don't. So, all right. All right. My extra piece of chipboard here, line it up. Okay, now that's your bottom, your front, and your back. Okay, now we can go on and add the lid and the flap, but what I wanted to do before we move on is I want to go ahead and finish these two. So again, measure your binding strip. Put your tape on it. Find your corners. Okay, now on this one, when you fold over your binding strip, you want to fold it the opposite way so the tape is on the outside. And the reason for that is the the seams that you just created by adding these pieces together and using your piece of scrap chipboard left an opening in between those. And what you want to do is finish them up. So what I do is I take a little bit of glue, and you can use glossy accents, you can use glue, and just a little bit, just put it in that little space right there. And then you want to take your tape off your strip. and then fit it right down in that groove. So, and sometimes I run my finger in the middle, my fingernail down the middle, and then so, push that down. I come over here and do the back side as well. Okay, and what that allows you to do, it gives it some play to fold without being real wobbly. Now, I will tell you, as pretty as these boxes are, they are not, because they are open, there's only a front and a back, there's no sides. They are not as sturdy as a four-sided box, but they, you know, they work. And if you stand them up, you fill them up, they they do stand up. One of the reasons why I would suggest that you keep your top and your bottom equal size, because and you don't want them too large. Like I said, this is 3.5. It holds 6 pages, plenty of room, plenty of pages to work with, and yet it gives it a full look, and it helps stabilize the box. So I think anything less might not. Alright, so, and again, you know, it's just something that I saw it, liked the way it looked, and I wanted to make one. So I created my own design, and I like it, and I hope you do as well. So, add your seam binding there on your strip. Okay. A little bit of a, so it bends. Alright, moving on, we're going to go ahead. Now, like I said, this is the front, this is the bottom, this is your back. So what we're going to do now is add the top, which is your other 3.5 by 6. So measure your one of your strips. Put your tape on. Now, I use the score tape. I have no other people to use other type of adhesives. I feel more comfortable using score tape when I am creating a box with the strips as your binding method. So, alright, miter my edges, take off my tape, and set it up in there. Alright, my piece of extra chipboard, line it up so it helps me be right on track, and I'm not. Alright. Oh, still not. I think I was. I am using Cartabella cardstock, so it gives me a little bit of extra room to make mistakes, as I can pull the chipboard up on it a little bit quicker than I could on normal cardstock. A little bit of your glue. Okay. Miter your edge. There's our lid. Now we're going to add our flap, which is your 2 1/4 by 6 piece. And again, you want to measure it, which you, like I said, if you want to pre-cut these to 6 inches, you can, because you know your width is 6 inches. I just have a tendency to hand measure each time. I guess it's everybody's own preference, how you want to do it. Lighter edge. Light up. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't miter this one edge real good, so I know it's going to overlap on the one side. So on this piece, so I'm going to fix that right away. I'm just going to trim it off. All right. Oops. Good here. Okay, so there we go. You got your shell of your box. All right, so your front piece, your bottom piece, your back piece, your top, and then your flap. So there you go. Now I will tell you that if we're not quite done, we want to finish all our sides so it gives it a nice clean look. But I do use magnets, the large magnets on my flap to help keep it closed, and it gives it a little bit more stability as well. All right, so now to finish off the sides, I will tell you I do the ends first to give it a cleaner look. So we're going to just do our 2 ends first. And you want to use your binding strips. Fold it in half. Line in the edge. Now, a little secret, don't take both pieces of tape off. Only take one side off, and I'll show you why. So, line it up to the edge, as close as you want. There. And then I turn it over. Oops. I guess I need to get all my scraps out of the way. Sorry. Alright. And then burnish that down. Now, what you want to do is you want to fold this over, but you want to take your bone folder and make sure that you just go across the top, and what you're doing is help creasing that, and you're going to have a nice firm fit with your finishing strip here. So take the other piece of tape off, and then there you go. And it gives you a nice clean look finish on that. So we're going to continue to do that on both sides. And then we're going to work, or both ends, sorry. And then we're going to work down to both sides, doing the same exact thing. And I'm going to show you why I do the top first, because I think it gives it such a cleaner look when you end with the other ones, the sides. Alright. Score tape off. Alright, and again, nice finished edge. Alright, so now, again, you're going to measure each piece individually. So again, we know that's 6 by 6, so I'm going to cut off another 6-inch binding. I'm going to add my score tape. Add it straight if I can there. I'll tell you, if you haven't worked with this Cartabella cardstock, you would be amazed at the difference. The quality is just astonishing, and it just gives such a rich texture to your products. So I'm going to measure, close this up. Alright. Again. I like my trusty little cleaning blade from my kitchen. It just makes it way nicer. So, there you go. And this is why when I do this ends first and then I come up and do the sides, it gives it a nicer, cleaner look, especially when you have them mitered your edges here. So, we want to continue doing that all the way down. What's going on there? And a little glue just doesn't look like it wanted to stay. Now, again, this is where I said, don't throw your, you can work one side down, work each side, is whichever you're comfortable with. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side since I'm already here. See if I can do this and work this way. Alright, so that one is done. Nice, clean, finished look to it. Both sides are tapered and looks good. Alright. So continue on and doing that for both sides, and when you get done, we shall have our box finished. I'll be right back. Okay, so you should have your box totally finished, and this is what it should look like once you're done. Now you, like I said, I add magnets to hold my shut before I put my closure on, just to help, gives it a little bit of stability. And there you go. Can't wait to see your design and your creation using this tutorial. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you later. Bye.